Sabinetta Mason, Executive Director of the Downtown Management District. This is our annual report on the state of downtown. Usually, we'd be presenting this and celebrating the last year's accomplishments in a mixer with all of downtown's friends and neighbors. But things are a little different right now, so we'll be bringing you this report virtually. Our intention today is to share with you the story of Downtown Corpus Christi during the year that challenged us beyond our wildest imaginations and was filled with national crises and historical events. In Downtown Corpus Christi, we really saw the strength and perseverance of our community, businesses, and city leadership. At the beginning of 2020, things were looking good. We were fresh off the success of the first Downtown Corpus Christi coloring book. Texas A&M University Corpus Christi had established a presence in downtown, and businesses were opening everywhere you looked. Through a partnership with Corpus Christi Comic-Con, we had hosted our first movie in La Retama Park, and through a partnership with the Coastal Bend Council of Governments, we installed cigarette butlers throughout downtown. After hitting a stride, leading not only the Downtown Management District, but also Visit Corpus Christi for 5 months, we were preparing for the arrival of the new CEO, Brett Otting. I was freshly invigorated about taking Downtown Corpus Christi to new heights with new partnerships. I'll never forget how the outlook shifted so suddenly as the conversation about COVID-19 changed from a foreign problem to a New York problem to suddenly arriving on our doorstep for spring break. A busy time for our downtown. Our annual St. Patrick's Day Festival, which normally brings thousands of residents and tourists decked out in green attire, could not occur. The next week, talk began of the governor closing restaurants and bars to flatten the curve. Our downtown business owners showed great leadership. Bus closed proactively on March 16th. Fresco switched to takeout only by March 17th. Our DMD team sprung to action, working with the city and businesses to create one of the first curbside to-go and delivery systems in the nation by March 17th, before transitioning to remote work and before the governor's orders were even issued. Our system included a new web page, curated weekly list of who was opening, designated parking spaces in front of each business, and signage to show that a business had delivery or to-go available, how to contact them, and what their hours were. And because Corpus Christi was one of the last metropolitan communities to get a confirmed case of COVID, our businesses who had previously really focused on dine-in service almost exclusively had time to adapt to a new model of operation when the biggest threat that we faced locally was still just the panic of this invisible enemy. Once our curbside system was set up, we needed a way to get people to support our downtown restaurants through the summer. The Curbside Champ program was born at the end of April with an I Support Local shirt designed by our own Savannah Garza that could only be earned by buying food 5 times and tagging us. The program was so successful, it transformed to the Support Local campaign that lasted through the whole summer until Labor Day, with over 300 meals being purchased by participants and 18 of those participants earning a Support Local t-shirt. Additionally, demand was so overwhelming that 28 Support Local t-shirts were also purchased online in support of our pop-up patio program. And businesses got creative too. House of Rock launched DIY pizza kits, hosted a socially distant curbside quinceañera, and created a House of Rock bingo. Bus launched an entire online store with Mila and Me tie-dye shirts and a traveling bar. The Executive Surf Club programmed music into their curbside pickup. Noasis Brewery launched barbecue well ahead of their predetermined schedule, and Rebel Toad also launched an online shop, started taking orders. Dokyo Downtown had been open less than a month when COVID landed, and they immediately created a cutting-edge dining experience for the COVID era. They were the first restaurant with QR code menus, partitions, a thermometer out the door, and special air filters that prevented the spread of the virus. Leaders like Richard Lomax, Mark Shaberg and Sam Canavati, Hank Harrison and Lynn Cates began using their supply channels to make dry goods and toiletries available to residents who were unable to find supplies elsewhere. Water Street, Brewster Street, and Harrison's Landing suddenly became markets when our community really needed it the most. The Downtown Corpus Christi Farmers Market came to serve as an essential food source, taking measures to operate safely amidst the chaos. As time went on, we needed to gather more information from our businesses on how to help them. We conducted 3 surveys in which we tracked jobs lost, revenue lost, and tested best practice concepts. We were able to stay on top of whether our businesses had pursued programs like the Payroll Protection Act and the city's Small Business Relief Fund. We troubleshot with them side by side through all the bureaucratic processes. At the end of May, how are we only at May in this story? We put signage through the district, reminding our patrons to wear masks as our bars and restaurants were finally allowed to reopen. A few weeks later, when we saw cases spiking across the state, we were also one of the first organizations to issue a statement on social media asking public to wear your masks. By this time, we knew that outdoor dining was a key in keeping our downtown businesses in business. Some restaurants had outdoor capacity, like the Executive Surf Club, Bar Under the Sun, Harrison's Landing, and they were able to adapt. But others had no outdoor capacity due to restrictions on right-of-way usage. We had initiated conversations with the city, and with the help of the city manager and his leadership, by May, we were well on our way to finally setting up a program for our sidewalk cafes. To create our pop-up patios program, we worked with the city to establish the processes and permit 8 businesses for sidewalk cafes in our efforts to provide relief for COVID-19. Those businesses included Dokio Downtown, The Exchange, Mully's, House of Rock, Rebel Toad, Mesquite Street Pizza, Muse Bistro, and Rockets Whiskey Bar. While our community adapted to working remotely, many downtown residents followed the national trend of getting dogs. While we loved seeing our new 4-legged neighbors, and dogs are a measure of revitalization, it created a challenging situation for our clean team, who had continued to keep downtown clean throughout the pandemic. With the vision of our operations manager, Eric Armio, we quickly deployed dog stations throughout the district. Our clean team had actually worked every day through the pandemic, increasing efficiencies and finding ways to adapt to this new invisible challenge. They researched best practices and deployed new methods for keeping our downtown clean. Another interesting trend this year was virtual meeting backgrounds. Right when we started working remotely, we took the iconic murals and created virtual backgrounds that we shared with the community. We also pivoted virtually with Art Walk. The 2020 Art Walk planned to increase vendor participation and event attendance by enhancing and increasing marketing was a success. Art Walk was selected in the Ben's Locals list for the best date night and featured in the Corpus Christi Loteria Bingo game, a local project created to highlight unique landmarks, eateries, shops, places, and traditions that locals love the most about Corpus Christi. However, with COVID, we couldn't host Art Walk in its normal capacity for the majority of the year. We still wanted to give the community something to look forward to, so in its place, we launched Virtual Art Walk, where supporters could shop in our stores and our website. We continued to beautify our downtown and create reasons for people to drive downtown by hosting the Electrical Box Mural Competition, which was open to the public. We received 25 submissions, which were voted on by the public for 8 electrical boxes along Water Street. By July, we launched a self-guided driving tour of the downtown electrical box murals for the community to enjoy downtown art while practicing social distancing. We also developed and virtually launched the Downtown Corpus Christi Shopping Guide. In addition to our Support Local campaign, we collaborated with local influencer Monica Garcia of CC Bucket List to create a Summer in the City bucket list with socially distant activities and ways to support downtown. We launched our Fall for Downtown campaign, where our social media followers could tag Downtown Corpus Christi and Go Downtown CC for the opportunity to win a gift card from the downtown business of their choice. Our Fall for Downtown campaign concluded with 68 tags. And somehow, amidst all of this, there was also a hurricane in the Gulf. We were fortunate with minimal damage, and our clean team responded quickly, conducting cleanup throughout our district. We launched a weekly downtown business update call with downtown businesses for the remainder of hurricane season to make sure we stayed atop of any catastrophes. Despite all the challenges and reactive solutions, we still made big picture progress for revitalization. We completed our Artesian Park improvements. Our dream to create a beautiful space to serve as a community town square came true. We successfully partnered with the city, TERS No. 3, Port of Corpus Christi, Bustilpina, and Janak Architects to complete the Artesian Park improvements. This $150,000 project included the installation of overhead lights in the gazebo, additional street lights, lights in the trees, and electrical power throughout the park to enable the trees to be wrapped with lights for the holidays. Additionally, there were improvements to the gazebo, the pergola, trash can repairs, professional landscaping, and security cameras that are monitored by the Corpus Christi Police Department. 12 businesses opened or relaunched during the last year.
I know a place where we can go. I know a place where we can go, where we are safe, where we are known. I know that there's no place like home. I know a place where we can go. I know a place where we can go, where we are safe, where we are known. I know that there's no.
And while it was certainly not a banner year for business volume, we did come out ahead of many downtowns. Because of our abundant natural resources and travel limitations, many Texans visited Corpus Christi. Our Omni Hotel was actually 1 in 7 in the country to stay open amid the pandemic. We plan to stay on the radar of those visitors and new Texans who are flocking to our international cities to be a weekend or vacation getaway of choice. And it is not without our team and our partners that any of this was possible. Our team showed great commitment working remotely amidst the pandemic. We also earned 2020 national accreditation from Main Street America, recognizing our work over the past few years as successful under the 10 standards of performance established by National Main Street Center. And while all this was happening, we knew that it was our job to bring joy to our community that had just gone through so much. So we made the holidays bigger and brighter than ever before. Our holiday series included Artesian Park Holiday Lights, the Port of Corpus Christi Holiday Tree in La Retama Park, Peppermint Lane on Chaparral Street, the HEB Christmas Tree in Water's Edge, the limited edition 2020 Downtown Commemorative Ornament, and the Mayor's Battle of the Bulbs, presented by NEC Co-op Energy. All of this is funded through a partnership of our downtown property owners, our city and our reinvestment zone, and our advisory council, our corporate leadership council. Our supporters and funders also include the Port of Corpus Christi, AEP, CCISD, HEB, Nueces County Commissioners Court, Bill Greehey Valero, Voestalpine, American Bank, Frost Bank, and San Jacinto Title. So, after the strangest year in history, what is the state of downtown? Committed, colorful, and certainly tenacious. We look forward to great things in 2021. Please follow us on social media to keep up to date on what's going on downtown.
I know that there's no place like home.